St. Martin, our people, we have to work together, you know. So moving forward,
You just need to get back to basics, and from there you could see everything.
Do not settle for less in life. And entrepreneurship is the best way to go. Working for yourself, 2 thumbs up. St. Martin, good afternoon. How you doing? A pleasant good afternoon to my SOS family all around the world. Welcome to your program, Strictly Business, on SOS Radio 95.9 FM. I'm your host, Mr. Brian Barry, alongside your co-host, Mr. Julian Rolox Jr. Call up a friend, call up a family member, and tell them, listen, it's Sunday, and the guys are on again from 12 to 1 p.m., so tune in right now. But of course, before we get started with another interesting and great program, we like to thank all our great sponsors that we have. First, we like to thank the Aki Supermarket. Aki Supermarket, located right there on the Illich Road. For all your grocery shopping needs today, go and visit the Aki Supermarket. As well, right there on the Illich Road, you're looking for a fresh haircut for the ladies as well for the men. We have the Los Mejores Barbershop right there on the Illich Road as well. Then if you're thinking movies, think the Video Block in French Quarter for all the latest movies. Get them loaded on your USB or your hard drive, or get them on DVD as well. The Video Block right there in French Quarter. Then if you're thinking and you're hungry, we have the Tiki Huts. We have Jerky Tiki Hut right there on the Illich Road for some great tasting barbecue chicken and ribs. Go and visit them today. We also have Jerky's right there on the Plaza Casino as well. And not forgetting we have Fat Lord Jimmy right there on the Pondfield, so some great tasting food. We also like to thank GBE, our water and electricity company. Thank you so much for your continued support, GB. And we also have J&J Properties. If you're looking for apartments or commercial spaces, give them a call today at 588-1216. That is J&J Properties, 588-1216. Last but not least, we like to thank the Bold Chance Electronics Store, located right there on Front Street for all your electronical needs. Go and visit the Bold Chance Electronics Store. Thank you so much for all our great sponsors. Brother Lorax Jr. in the house, what's happening, bro?
Brian Barry, good morning, good afternoon, St. Martin.
We here.
Good evening, everything.
Yes,
People all over the world watching us, you know,
Yes,
so
sir.
that's different time frames. You know, thank you to SS Radio. You know, we back at it again. Mello behind the camera. All is well.
Yes, sir.
B, so how you feeling today, bro?
Bless, man. Another
You know,
special day.
You know,
Thank God
somebody
for
there,
life.
I was in Cold Bay and had a lady, she just passed by.
Mm-hmm.
And she watched me, she said, oh, you just been radio on Sundays? I said, yeah. She said, well, let's do it tomorrow. I said, all right.
Awesome,
Listen to me. So, you know,
yes.
it's a nice feeling, you know,
Yes,
that
great
people are
listeners
listening to
out
us.
there.
So that you feel good, you know, so you keep bringing the positive message forward, you know, so they can keep hearing us and keep supporting us. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? The dump on fire again, bro.
Man, all I gotta say is not again.
Yeah.
When I see it.
Yeah. So how was it feeling when you see that again?
I was telling you off here.
Yeah.
I had a late vision this week, and I saw a big headline saying St. Martin is a dump. Big and broad, because I was thinking on that big fire we had not too long ago.
Yeah.
And when it looks quiet, it's just a bomb waiting to happen.
Yeah.
You know, we want to attract visitors to our country. We want the best of the best, but up to now we have a big problem and we can't solve.
Yeah.
You know, it's a shame.
You know what? I started to think they have to like leave like experimentals, like leave people stay on the dump, like make a place for them to find out exactly, because is the fire is too often now, bro. You know, it's it's too often to me. So I really starting to think on what's going on. Why is so often it keep going on fire? You know,
I mean, it's blatantly it has become unmanageable.
Yeah. Because before
You know,
it's not like every time it's on fire. You know, it's every 3-4 weeks. You know, it's
Bro.
on fire again.
When you think about a household, how much garbage we throw out every single day. Just
Yeah.
home in my household, let us watch. Like how much garbage bags you have to be using over and over. Where all this garbage going?
Yeah.
You know, I'm a person, I like to drink a lot of water. Imagine a 1.5 liter bottle, you know, that takes up space in your garbage as well. Imagine drinking 2 or 3 of that every single day.
Yeah.
Where it going?
But I think Brian is also of the hurricane. You know, after the hurricane, we had a lot of debris.
A lot more
and,
debris.
and a lot more trash. You know, all over. So I think, you know, all of that staying there, you know, it's gonna cause a fire,
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? So that is something, bro. We keep talking about it every time it's on fire.
But just look,
So-
we have to create a second dump.
Yeah.
See, imagine
yeah,
where we going.
Yeah. So the second dam was on fire today or the first
I
one?
don't know which one is on fire right now.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, something has to be done. I hope the government is keep looking into it. That's all I can
Desperately
keep
needs
saying.
to be done.
Keep looking into it because I will imagine that's what they're doing now.
Uh-huh.
You know, so let's hope to reach to a solution.
And then remember the last time we tried to address, remember the firefighter said there wasn't a fire hydrant close enough or something was the issue.
Yeah.
When it's quiet, why don't these things be put in place?
Yeah.
You know, when things looking normal, this is what needs to be
You
done
have to work on
because
it, yeah. And you know, Brian, when Monday come, tomorrow is Monday, right?
Yeah.
If that dump on fire again, brother, government building closed again.
Another
And
setback.
the way it is, it's going to look like government building going to be closed tomorrow again.
Another setback.
You know, and people have to get a passports, registration form.
Wow.
That all of that is still a struggle. You know, bro, when you go in a government building now, bro, the place full of flies. You know what I'm saying? It's not even comfortable no more, you know. You don't feel the AC, not even a fan, you know. So, well, we have a lot of work to do now in
Yes,
Toronto, man. We have a lot of work to do. I hope, you know, our Prime Minister, because our General Affairs is still working on it hard. I know she's working hard. So, let's look forward to that, bro.
Yeah.
You know. Bro, another Mother's Day.
Another
You know,
special
another
day.
special Mother's Day.
Yes.
We this is our third time we're doing something for
Mhm.
Mother's Day, right?
Mhm.
You know, every year is a different Mother's Day, and we have to pick up all the mothers, you know, family mothers, single mothers, you know, because it's a hard work, bro. It's hard work. It's not easy, you know. And I always remember when Mother's Day come around. I remember when my mother always, you know, she was always there for me. You know what I'm saying? And I truly appreciate that.
Mhm.
I want to send a shout out to my mom.
Mhm.
You know, Astrid Rolex. You know, I
Absolutely.
hope she's listening.
Mhm.
What about your mother, bro?
I call her on my way here to make sure
Yeah.
you know she tune in as well.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
she's home and I'll pass by and visit her. So happy Mother's Day to Angelica Barry. Love you so much, Mom. I'll take this opportunity quickly to say how happy Mother's Day to my wife, my
Yeah,
grandmother,
my wife
my
also,
aunts,
yes. All
you know,
of the
all the
females that
special
are
mothers in
yes.
my life.
I called my mom this morning, but she went to church, so I didn't get her. So I
Right.
hope she listening now. You know.
Awesome.
You know. So B, we have a sweet guest today. Or
Yes, we
You
have
tell me.
Two amazing ladies that is gracing us with their presence
Yes.
here on a special Mother's Day. You know, it's Mother's Day, but life goes on. There's a lot of things behind the scenes that are happening. And in our community, it's good to see ladies taking the forefront as well. You know, sometimes you look around and the men are out there working hard,
Yeah.
but the ladies are in the background as well doing what they have to do. So we have two amazing ladies that are here, and they're going to tell us about a campaign that they're doing, you know, after the disaster of Hurricane Irma and whatnot that we have. So we have Tasana right here. She's going to introduce herself. And then we have another lady here. What's your name again?
My name is Ingvild Morlandsto.
Ingrid Morlans. I can't even pronounce that.
Morlandsto.
But welcome to our program. Go ahead, Tasana.
Hello, my name is Tasana Aviturin, and I am the campaign project coordinator for the Too Cool to Loot campaign.
Awesome.
And I am Ingvild Morlandsto, as I just said, and I'm from UNICEF. So I'm here on St. Martin actually because we're helping out with the recovery after Irma, and also most importantly the preparedness for whatever may come next. And part of what we're doing is because after Irma there was a bit of looting, as you all know about.
Yes.
And
A little bit, you said.
a little bit. And of course you can say, why would UNICEF be involved with anything related to looting? But the thing is that what we saw was that schools and community buildings and things like that were vandalized too. And that really has a big impact. It has a big impact on the kids, on the students, on the parents, on everything. And as you know, that's what we do in UNICEF. We care about the kids, and we're making sure that they get access to education and everything. So for us, when we were asked if we could take on this anti-looting campaign, it made so much sense here in St. Martin. So coming up now is the Too Cool to Loot. So that's the campaign's name.
I have a question because I know half people know what is UNICEF, but half people doesn't know what is UNICEF. Can you explain what is UNICEF and what organization is it?
Yeah, UNICEF is actually the United Nations Children's Fund.
Okay.
And we are, I think we're around 70 years old. We were funded just after the Second World War. And our main goal is to work for women and children in the world, particularly the children, but of course also the women. So it's a very good topic on Mother's Day, because
Right.
that's really the mandate of UNICEF. And we work both in emergency situations and also in development situations. You could say that why are we in such a well, economically pretty well country as St. Martin? But that's because of Irma, because we came in. Our specialty is emergency and to make sure that kids are okay after an emergency.
Okay.
So we're doing child protection projects and education projects here in St. Martin. So we work worldwide. We're a pretty huge UN organization.
Yeah.
And probably one of the brands that people at least have seen, everybody's seen UNICEF somewhere, maybe on the t-shirts of Barcelona,
Yes,
football
that's-
team
yeah,
and
yeah.
things like that. So, but you're right, a lot of people don't really know
Don't
what
really
we're
know,
about,
yeah,
but
yeah.
we're about kids.
Okay.
Awesome.
Where are you from?
I'm from Norway.
Norway.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Long way from home.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
you travel a lot. You
I do. I'm very happy to be in St. Martin because usually I'm in war zones. So,
Wow.
so previously I was in Gaza, I've been in Somalia, and it's very nice to be able to work in a place which is calm and peaceful and beautiful and pretty normal in the middle of everything.
so basically after when a hurricane passed, like I was when I was walking in St. Martin, I felt like in a war zone. So that's like normal to you, like it was,
Yeah, actually, I will say it looked very familiar. I was
Yeah.
watching the pictures, and I was like, I was in Gaza, and I was thinking, this looks pretty similar. Yeah, because that's what natural disasters do too, and that's why the preparedness that we're doing when there may be a bomb coming is actually the same as what we're doing when there's a nature bomb coming by, right? You have to be prepared the same way.
Does UNICEF not moving too much from the topic, but does UNICEF does certain studies on certain stuff like natural disasters and stuff like that, or not really?
Well, we do a lot of studies, but mainly on children's and the well-being of children,
okay,
right?
okay.
So one of the things that we actually did here on St. Martin was right after Irma to do an assessment to see how things were and what had happened to the sectors like the schools and with the children, and particularly what's the situation of children. We do a lot of studies globally on those things. Not so much on natural disasters.
Yeah,
There are
yeah.
other UN agencies for that.
I know,
There's a
yes,
UN agency
yes,
for
yes.
absolutely everything, right?
Yes. Brian, I always thought about when after Lewis, seeing Lewis and seeing Irma, the time frame, like 20 years passed by, like it doesn't have hurricanes like that normally every year.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So I wonder like, is it a study like the hurricanes comes after a lot of
X
years,
amount of
X amount of years,
Mhm.
or is it just spontaneously?
Right.
Because I know they have a lot of studies going on the world right now.
Mhm.
People seeing it in hurricanes, etc., etc.
Mhm.
But so you just wonder, you just think on certain things. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But I guess it's just Mother Nature, right?
Yeah. It's out of our hands, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the name Too Cool to Loot, Tasana, who came up with that?
Well, I was brought onto the campaign
Uh-huh.
after the name was already established, so I think Ingvild will be the better person to answer that.
Okay.
Yeah, well, this is actually a partnership between the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports and UNICEF.
Mhm.
And one of the key people who's been part of this is the one that everybody knows, the head of culture, Clara Reyes. She's a key person behind this campaign and one of the creative forces also of the campaign. And then we also have the youth department with Amora Aventurin.
Mhm.
And also Angelique Romo, which has usually sitting in this
Yes.
same studio sometimes,
Yeah.
also part of it. So, and we invited a whole lot of youth organization for a meeting. That was how it all started off.
Okay.
And then we were discussing a little bit the profile of the campaign, and we decided we don't want to go with don't do this, it's bad, it's negative to do the looting. So we were looking for how can we bring a positive message across.
Mhm.
And then we were discussing a little bit back and forth and, a couple of days discussing, and then we realized we're going to go for the opposite, the cool people don't loot. If
Right.
we're just busy doing other things, we're just too cool to loot, and looting is not a cool thing at all.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the discussion that took place, and then we ended up with a message which we think is pretty positive.
Awesome. Great.
But the campaign, what do you guys do actually? Like just try to aware people not to loot, or
Yeah, well, right now,
Mhm.
So initially we had the launch. The launch took place on April 8th.
Okay.
We collaborated with UNICEF, sponsored 100 children to be part of that campaign launch, which was good because we had we got a good support from the foundations, the ICANN Foundation, the To Bless Giving Back Foundation. A lot of children and a lot of parents also were very, happy to be part of this launch.
Okay.
Then after the launch, we decided what we'll do is we'll take the campaign and hopefully we can just run it with the schools, within the schools, within the public, with the communities, and we have a lot of different events lined up,
Okay.
upcoming events lined up
Okay.
for this project. Our next step is the Too Cool to Loot logo competition. We
Awesome.
see this as an opportunity to have the public, mostly the youths to become part of our campaign.
Okay.
So this contest runs from Monday, May 14th until June 4th,
Okay.
and anybody can be part of this logo competition.
It's free, right?
It's free, as long as you're creative or you have an idea, anything that you want to do,
Okay.
you can just jot it down, sketch it out, and just drop it by the government building. Done anytime between May 14th and June 4th. And then, or you can email it to the toocooltoloot@gmail.com.
Okay.
And it is mainly for kids and youth. I mean,
Yes.
again, we're UNICEF, right?
Yes.
So it's supposed to be for people under 18, but anybody. You don't have to be in school or anything, And we were talking about the other day, if you have a very creative 2-year-old, I mean, why not? There's
Yeah.
no limit.
No.
Well, downwards. Upwards, it's 18.
Okay.
And also, we do have a couple of criteria, like you have to have the letters Too Cool to Loot and cool in capital letters. So there'll be some announcement on in newspapers and some
Yes.
flyers around. So do check out, pick it up, or look
On
at our
our
Facebook
Facebook,
page,
on
Too
Facebook.
Cool to Loot.
Yes, that's right.
And just look at those little things that has
The
to be part of the
criteria.
logo, so
Awesome.
that you make sure that your logo can be part of the competition.
Yes, and also on the Facebook page, what we're going to do is we're going to select a few of the logos and showcase them on the Facebook page, so you too can also see what's going on and keep track of how we are making progress for the logo competition.
And that have like winners and stuff like that? Or?
Yes,
Is there
the
a
winner will
prize?
be announced. The judging will be announced we start judging on June 5th, the day after, and on June 8th, the Friday of that week, the winner will be announced.
Okay.
And we are holding a small ceremony at our announcement at the government building on that day.
Okay.
And also prizes will be given.
Right.
Right now,
Yes.
we're not saying exactly what the prizes are,
Okay.
but we are
Yeah.
trying to, it will gear more towards arts and creativity and to help the children, grow into their skills. their
Yeah,
art
we
skills.
think that, the winner will be a real artist.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's for sure, because, hopefully we're gonna get a lot of different logos coming in.
Right.
And then we were thinking that what we really want to do is to help upcoming artists. So we're looking for a prize that will help the development of the coming artists
Okay.
with
Okay.
maybe some classes with really renowned artists, with art materials and things like that, So we really want to also take an opportunity here to showcase some of the great upcoming artists that are on their way here on St. Martin.
Awesome.
Yeah, and if the winner will also get recognition, and their name will be attached to the logo that they created. So wherever we use the logo, your name will be there.
Nice.
So everybody will know that it was done by Ryan Barry.
Nice. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Example.
Right. Very nice.
But now going back on the, if I may go back a little
Of
bit,
course.
on the looting, on the Too Cool, what's the name again?
Too Cool to Loot.
Too Cool to Loot.
Yeah.
What was your perspective on the looting after the hurricane? You live here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think the looting was unnecessary because what it did, a lot of people who could have opened immediately after the hurricane, they were not able to do so because then they were looted. And now people were out of jobs because now that store couldn't have been open.
Yeah.
And it set back a lot of time, the opening times, and it set us back a lot.
Yeah.
And it also, to me, it gave a bad example to the country.
Yeah,
looking in
yeah.
from, someone looking into the country, like, okay, you guys just went through a devastating hurricane and now you're looting
Yeah,
upon that.
yeah.
So, it wasn't a good look for us. And also the students, the children who they saw that their parents were looting, or they were encouraged to loot too.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to break that and send a positive message. So to let them know that, looting is really uncool, and next time, God forbid, anything do happen, the children can tell their parents, hey mom, I don't take looting to school.
Yeah,
Let's not
yeah.
do that.
Right.
But now going back on the emergency part for UNICEF, with your experience after many hurricanes, I don't know if you experienced more hurricanes in different countries or some.
Well, not in my job, but
Oh.
I did experience a hurricane in Cuba, which was quite interesting. It was
Okay.
like 20 years ago, but it was a very interesting experience.
No, because I would want to know, is it something normal after a hurricane, or
Yes.
is it more? It was more worse here, more worse in Cuba.
Well, in Cuba there wasn't any looting because
Wow.
Cuba at that time, this was like in the late 90s. Cuba just turned into this very, very military organized thing.
Was it
It was very fascinating to see how organized they become before the hurricane. It was like, we are now in phase 1, these
Wow.
people are going to be mobilized, these people are going to be moved, and there was only one TV channel and they were just only about telling people what to do. So that was very
That's
interesting.
great. Wow.
But of course, the thing is that you don't necessarily want, as a part of preparedness for an emergency, to create a dictatorship, right? So that's the backside of it. And
Yeah.
so when you're looking at how to prepare, you always have to think about, yes, we want to prepare, but we also want to live in the middle of it. But definitely, I mean, it's not so different, the reaction, when you get such an enormous destruction that you got from Irma. And people are stressed. This is the same that you can see in war zones also. People are stressed, they didn't necessarily prepare well, they didn't necessarily fill up with food, and then they don't know if they're going to get anything. So, all those things are affecting how people react, So some looting, you do find looting in many, many, many different types of
Absolutely.
emergencies.
Right.
It is a normal reaction, but it's also something that can be mitigated. And of course, there's a difference between looting water and food
Yes.
than from
Looting,
bringing your flat screen
TV
TV
and
with you.
stuff
I
like
mean,
that,
you don't even
computers.
have electricity. I mean, what are you going to do with that TV? You don't have any electricity, and you don't even know when your electricity is coming back. And you take the time to actually go and get your TV. And
And-
even worse, I would say, why would you go and damage your school?
When you're saying that, close to my business there on Village Road, they have Home Center, right? This place was a huge place.
Just recently opened.
Just recently opened. I don't even know if the guy was insured. Maybe he was looking for insurance. When you open, the place was huge, and it have like so many stuff in there. And up to today, and I don't think they're gonna open again. They just close off because they took everything from the store. They went inside and they just wiped out the store.
Furniture, appliances.
Furniture,
everything.
stove, everything.
Unnecessarily.
I mean, I was standing up next to the road because I was assessing the damages, because your mind that's the way your mind is, because that's where you're gonna make your food for you to eat, what I'm saying? So I'm assessing the damages. While I'm there standing up, I see people running with TVs and clothes and furniture and put stuff on their head.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like walk down the
They
road.
get the strength from me.
Yeah, and if you see,
Yes, strength
there's
comes
big
from-
businesses like Michael Kors, Tommy Hilfiger, the Home Center. These are some places that I think Tommy is back, but not in one store. I think they're with another store. But like franchises that just left the island because they couldn't open no more. It was looted, So that is something I don't know if, like you say, we can avoid it, but.
So what are the feedbacks you're getting from the youths here, from the looting? The campaign started
Yeah,
in April,
yeah.
right? What is the feedback you're getting?
Well, the launch was well received by the youth. We are in the process, we keep in contact with the foundations and the children, and they're eager to know what's the next event, the next activity that we're about to have. So we're getting good positive feedback. I mean, even when we ask the question, did you loot?
Right,
You know,
right.
they're not gonna say.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So what we do is we try to encourage you not to loot again.
Okay.
We don't necessarily care if you did loot, but just that the next time something happens, please don't loot again. Because and that's the thing, we are also here to let them know about the side effects and the ripple effect that happens after looting.
Right.
So, children, once you educate them, they won't do, they know why they're not doing this, why we're telling them not to loot, So
Yeah.
we're hoping that in the upcoming weeks, anybody, any afternoon programs, after school programs, activities, anybody that want to join with us, we can come and we can talk at your event or speak at anything, or organize a workshop for you, so we can educate the people, educate the students, educate the young adults.
I think you guys should emphasize also on the students and the youths that they will go to jail also, if they loot, because they're afraid of
Yeah, the
police and
ripple
things like
effect.
that. The ripple
Yeah.
effect, because I remember even last year they took some guys and they sent them to Curacao in prison because they looted. After Irma, I remember Bull Chance, the place was good,
Yeah.
and they just broke in and they had a video showing how they really just break the door and went inside and took the people's stuff,
And that's the thing, we want to educate them to let them know why it's not cool to loot.
yeah.
So they understand, and they can send the message to someone else that it's not cool to loot. And hopefully, like other islands can look at St. Martin as an example.
Mhm.
I think it's a cool campaign,
Yeah, yeah.
and it will do good for the
Too good for the
economy.
economy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going back to Cuba, Brian, the disaster you were saying, what year was it exactly?
Oh, that's a long
Remember?
time.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
It was a hurricane. I mean, it was a bad hurricane.
Sometime around 2000. Yeah, it was. But the hurricane was nice to us, because Cuba was not in that good state around 2000. So everybody was looking at this hurricane moving towards Havana, which was in a horrible state, and
Yeah.
thinking, oh, this is it, we're
How was
gonna
it?
just.
Meaning like the houses and stuff like that.
At that
infrastructure?
time, there was, in 2000 in Cuba, not very good infrastructure. Yeah, there was a lot of houses that was in a pretty bad condition. I haven't been back for a while, but I know that there's been a lot of renovation done. But we were just knowing that the state of infrastructure was bad and just seeing that hurricane moving straight towards Havana. But then I think, there are some forces out there that just said, okay, let's take the smallest little strip where nobody's living in the middle of the island,
Yeah.
where there's really nothing to destroy, and let's put the hurricane there. So the hurricane kind of rushed across the island at the least difficult spot of the whole island. So that was pretty amazing. But no, it was, but of course that was nothing like Irma. But
No.
nothing, I think,
Yeah.
around this area has ever been like Irma.
No,
Irma
no.
was she's just on her own category.
No, but remember, if a country's infrastructure is bad, and if the hurricane is, for example, category 4, it's still going to get hit like St. Martin because the infrastructure is not like St. Martin.
Yeah.
So they're still going to feel like it's devastated. You know what I'm saying, Brian? So I still think it was a bad hurricane, like you said. But the country, what I heard you said is the preparation of the government was really, really on par.
Yeah, Cuba at that time had its kind of pretty authoritarian way of doing things where the society was pretty organized down to
Yeah.
community level, right? So, but you may not want to go there, but one thing which is really important that we see all over the world in emergencies is if you have a community that are tied together, where people, here you're pretty scattered, and that is actually a bit of a weakness,
Okay.
that if we can glue this community better together, the community will be much stronger next time. Because if you have communities that know each other, and they look after each other,
And divided,
and the
you mean,
businesses are also integrated
Yeah.
in, that's also something we want to do with this campaign. We want to get the businesses involved. So if we do an initiative or an event in the community, the businesses will get a chance to sponsor and to be part and to get to know the people that are there, because those things are really important. When you have communities that are well glued together and strong, you have resilience at a completely
Yeah.
different level. I work with preparedness for the school sector, so we're doing guidelines to what needs to be in place and what do you do and so on, so on, so. And that is, of course, really important. You need to know what to do if something happens.
Exactly.
But it's even more important that people look after each other, that you kind of know who your neighbor is, you know, that you have that kind of togetherness in the community. I mean, even in war zones everywhere, you see that the communities that have that glue strongly together, they bounce back faster than anybody else. And I think that Irma somehow did glue you as a community more together. What
yeah.
I'm hearing people are talking in a different way.
Well, that would always happen after
Exactly, yeah.
after social media is down, everything else is down. There's nothing else to
But
do.
you know, let me tell you honestly, my opinion.
Yeah.
When the hurricane was here, and after the hurricane, people together. But after a time,
When things get back to normal.
people just forget and people go on their horse again.
Once you're
Yeah.
online,
Yeah.
I seen it happen. You know,
Yeah.
everybody comes together, and then after a while, you look at this person and they just change again. You know, they just become who
Back
they
to
was,
normal
back to
life.
normal.
Yeah.
Like they don't even care what happened, or you know. But I know some people did change.
Mhm.
You know, you see myself, you see life in a different perspective.
Mhm.
You know, because this was my first hurricane ever, but my worst also. You know, it was really horrible. I never experienced something like this in my life. You know, but Brian, you've been through Lewis, right? But in Lewis times, was the looting that like this, or was it
Well,
different?
I always reflected and asked myself, what is considered looting? You know, because like we mentioned earlier, what are you looting? Food or etc. In '95, I was a teenager then, and of course you go out and you explore to see what's happening as a youth. And for me and my friends, the places we went and we took stuff is like the grocery store that was flattened. You know, and you have a lot of stuff getting wet and whatnot.
Because Rams was around, I remember.
Rams,
That was
even,
gone.
yeah, but even in French Quarter, there's certain grocery stores that were just open, and it's gonna rain, and you decide, okay, let's take stuff. You
Some
take canned
business
stuff.
owners, you
Yeah.
know, they
So,
give
yeah.
you the-
So the
okay.
thing is, do the owners come out fast enough to their location of their business to say and decide, okay, listen, my supermarket is damaged. Let me start giving stuff before they break in and damage stuff. Because that's the initial problem. People don't see the owners around. People look, and then someone comes and starts to break, and the others come and help. Because the owners are worried, well, they're mostly occupied with their homes and taking care of their family. The last thing you're going to do is go check on your business. But seeing that the community loots, you should have an emergency system set up in place, a process to know, hey, we have to go and check on these businesses, whether it's the authorities or the owners themselves, to prevent people from being getting interested to go and loot. Because forget about the food and whatnot. People want free stuff.
Yeah.
That is the problem. It's anytime it's free, it's for me. You know,
Yeah.
and why they get and I ain't get. So forget about okay being cool. We understand to not be cool to loot, but the free, the aspect of hey, he got a phone, he got a this. That's why I was asking what is the feedback with the youths out there, because they want to be entitled to some new shoes as well and getting it for free.
But Brian,
You know,
But Brian-
it is stealing.
but
So
Brian-
that's the problem. Breaking in, that is wrong. We have to let them understand. Listen, it's okay to go by the grocery store if it's already,
allowed, yeah.
if it's already, but not even if it's allowed. The thing is, you're going to be out there, and it's broken up, and it's raining and whatnot, and then you have your friends. They're going in breaking in electronic stores that are not broken into. I find that is horrible. You shouldn't do that. But when it comes to taking the food stuff should be okay, not breaking into places. But if it's already, damaged, then that's what happened in '95. You didn't see people breaking into stores, taking out furniture and stuff like that. So right now it's on another level. People just want the opportunity to get free stuff.
So what are you saying, like necessity stuff?
Yeah, your food stuff.
You need
Your food stuff, but then again, to avoid the damage of the property, the owners have to come there. Because if you let people give them what they want, like you said, by costuless and whatnot,
Yeah.
they're gonna rampage. People are gonna get hurt. It's gonna get out of hand.
Yeah.
So the owners already have to come and assess.
But you see,
The
Brian,
damage.
also looking into that as an owner of a place, and most owners, bro, they how do you say, the inventory was not insured.
Correct.
So they're gonna protect what's theirs.
Mhm.
So
I wouldn't think that you're gonna have supermarket owners gonna just tell you to just go ahead and
If the
take.
place is damaged.
But sometimes
Mhm.
the place is damaged, but not damaged to the extent where the people can take everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm
All
saying.
of the
So
groceries.
the owner's gonna be like, I can protect these stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
So-
saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So you
So
know,
looting in its whole is not cool.
it's not it's not good. You know,
And that's what we're
know.
trying to put out there, that the children know that it's not cool to loot. And hopefully, with all of the preparedness that Ingrid and her team is doing on St. Martin, it can prepare people to know that, hey, we have emergency, we know where to contact, who to contact, where to
Yeah.
go, before we can go to looting.
Mhm.
You know, after hearing lady, what's her name again?
Ingrid.
Yes, talking about Cuba, and Brian.
The structure.
Yeah, when I was here in St. Martin in September,
Mm.
before Hurricane Irma,
Mm.
and seeing after Hurricane Irma, you know, the preparation, bro, was really horrible.
Mm.
To me, it was not, we didn't even prepare, bro.
Mhm.
Meaning not we,
Mhm.
but the government didn't do what they had to do,
Mhm.
honestly.
Mhm.
Okay? And the fact is that had people that was in government now,
Mhm.
was in government then,
Correct.
in 95. So they had knew what was coming to St. Martin. They had know what is Hurricane Irma, what is Category 5. Bro, I don't know nothing about it. I don't know what it was. So me, I don't know what it was. So people
Right.
say, yeah. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I tried to do my what I do, but I never been through a disaster. You know, when you don't know what it is. So you can be like, all right.
Mhm.
You know, but when it happened, you'll be like, why? This is one
Yeah,
hurricane. This is
yeah.
this is Category 5.
Yeah.
You know. So if to me Holland, bro, had to send those troops who are coming after,
Mhm.
had to be here before the hurricane,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Then troops had to be here, hundreds of them had to be here, bro.
Prevention on the roads.
Prevention on the
Yes,
roads, that when
yes,
that thing
after
done,
disaster.
everybody on the road
But
and
we
them guys
also-
on the road with them big guns
Yeah.
to tell people how what going on and how this is how we're gonna give all you food.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have a part to play in it as a community.
Yeah, of course,
you know?
yes,
And that's the thing, not to say that we point blame on other people,
Mhm.
but we too we know.
Just know it's
looting
wrong.
is
It's wrong. Yeah.
Like some of you probably were not here, but other people experienced Lewis.
Mhm.
They went through the hurricane. They looted then too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're doing it again. They did it again with Irma.
Yeah.
But they know that it's
wrong.
it's not looting. Looting is not good.
Yeah, you
So-
know Tasani, right?
Yeah.
Tasani, right? Isn't it?
Tasani.
Yes, yeah, Tasana. You know, human beings. I saw a movie someday there, right? Like as you say, they know it's wrong,
Mhm.
right? We know killing is wrong. We know raping is wrong. A lot of things is wrong. But when people get into desperation of their life and they have the baby, they are hungry.
Granted, I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying?
Mhm.
They're gonna become a different human being.
And I think
You
that is
know?
actually a really important point
Yeah.
because there's one very interesting example in history of the tsunami hit Japan. And not too long before, there was a big emergency, I don't remember what it was, in Los Angeles with massive looting. And when the tsunami hit Japan, there was no looting. Because
Tsunami in Japan now. Okay.
a while ago, many years
Wow,
ago,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
with when
never
that
knew that.
atomic
Yeah.
nuclear plant and
Okay,
everything.
yes.
But that time, there's some very interesting studies that was done because there was no looting at all after that emergency. And people were out of everything like in any other disaster.
Wow.
But because Japan is a society where people are used to welfare
Okay.
and very egalitarian system, and people are used to everybody is getting, right?
Okay.
So they just had that trust, and probably they were also pretty good prepared. They knew
Yeah.
how things was going to be
Yes,
handed out to them, right?
exactly.
And if you know that there will be stuff handed out, it will be handed out to everybody equally or according to needs and things like that, then people don't get desperate in the same way,
Yeah.
right? And it's
Yeah.
very interesting to see that specific case because there was a lot of analysis done about it, that it was, and they were looking at the structure of that society and the kind of trust that people had in the fact that everybody was being taken care of. So they just lined up, patiently lined up and waited for their turn.
That's what I'm saying. You know, if you
They understood
at the end of the
system.
day,
Yeah, we need a system.
yes, of course, the community also have to have their part, but the law enforcement, they have to have law enforcement, you know, they have to have rules, because it's like after Irma, St. Martin was lawless, you know, so everything goes and nobody could have say what happened. You know, I remember our neighbors called over the police, and the police come, something had happened, and then he self was like,
They had no authority.
they had no authority.
Yeah.
He self told me, but he going home to his family.
Yeah, they felt.
The police self, you know.
Felt
So
the
it's like everybody was, you know. But when you see after the hurricane, when the troops then came in, remember these guys are trained for this. Like you said, you know, you guys from UNICEF, and you know how to manage in certain areas. You know, in a war zone, for example. You know, but these are soldiers that they know how to manage within after a hurricane or after a disaster. You know, I'm happy they came after, but you know, I'm sorry that they came before, and when we really, really needed them.
But I think, I mean, there's so much, I mean, yes, of course, law enforcement, but it's actually much more about the way people think,
Yeah.
you know, and that's why, because I think a lot of people just got carried away. You know, you're in this kind of state of shock. You wake up or you get out of your house, or if you have a house, and then you see everything destroyed. And I think you're just very, very vulnerable to any kind of things happening around you in that situation. And there was a wave of, okay, let's go and loot, you know, now everything is for free and everything is there. And that's why we're trying to create this counter wave, you know, to actually let people know a little bit about what are the consequences. Because I think a lot of people are seeing that there were consequences that they never thought about. They
Right.
were thinking, oh, I'm going to get a flat screen TV. And then the next consequence is that there's not going to be a shop there.
Right.
And I have been to a lot of countries that have fallen completely apart. And the fact that you cannot go and buy things wherever in the shop. I mean, Cuba was like that for a period in the 90s.
What's that?
You really could not go and just buy whatever you needed.
Oh.
You know, you would really have to go in stores all over to see if that little part for your fridge were available, you know, wherever. So, and that is a consequence. You know, when everybody's fending for themselves and taking their opportunity, I think a lot of people saw that after Irma. They saw that, oh, now we don't have that shop anymore.
Exactly.
Right.
So now we don't have the opportunity to go and get those things.
Right.
And all these people that suddenly found themselves without a job, which is way worse than
Yeah.
that flat screen TV, right? So I think a lot of people woke up and saw that, okay, I was thinking short term and I was just kind of joining a
Yeah.
wave. But now I see that it was a bad idea because it affected a lot of people in a much larger scale, you know. So I think that is the message that we want to focus on, because the law enforcement are going to have to do their job, you know, and also, but I think that one of the things we really need to do now, because we're just in front of the next hurricane season, that is that everybody needs to be so much more prepared. And if you're a business owner, what you can do is to make sure that your community knows what you want to do if your shop is
Okay.
destroyed.
Okay.
So you can say, if my shop is destroyed, I will hand out food, I will do it this way. You know, I will maybe target the weaker people first, older people, so and so and so. And you have a plan, you know, and you try to disseminate that and share that with your community. You can put up notes in your shop saying, this is how I want to do it, but please give me time to make
Right.
sure that my family is
Yeah.
safe, and then I will come and I
Makes
will
sense.
hand it out,
Makes
and I will make sure. And then people should think, if I loot, then maybe I'm taking away the stuff that
I
my grandmother in the wheelchair
Yeah.
was supposed to get.
Yeah.
And I know that there are organizations like the Red Cross, they're planning to pre-position stuff so that they will hand it out to people. And we were having a discussion the other day, how can we avoid looting of the pre-positioned stuff of the Red Cross? Come on guys, you don't loot the pre-positioned stuff that the Red Cross is putting there for the people who are sick and old and needy. That's like the lowest thing you can do, right?
Right, yeah.
But you need to have that message out there. People need to know what is the stuff which is in that warehouse. That is the stuff that are going to those specific people that need it the most. And it's from the Red Cross. So then people will say, okay, that's not a thing we're going to loot, right? Because at least there's some decency in the bottom everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think those things are things that every business owner can do. You can have a plan. Not just for
that's right.
guarding your stuff, but also if it gets destroyed, particularly food, and it has to be handed out because it's going to expire,
Exactly.
then how are you actually going to hand it out?
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. I agree with that.
Yeah, but I still I agree with that also. But when Irma was here, like you say, after I was talking about the human beings, you know, people just change. You know,
I was like, why would they do the school?
Yeah.
No, but that is that wave that we were talking about. You know, you get carried away.
oh yeah,
And that's also why it makes so much sense for us to have this campaign. And we don't have, we're not doing it as a little advertising campaign, you know, which is 1 month and then so and so. We want to create a wave. We want this to grow. We want it to be really growing into all the communities, to be part of different events. Hopefully we'll be able to really be present in the media, on our Facebook, with jingles, you know.
On
Because-
social media, you need a big campaign.
Because
Hashtag too cool to loot.
Yeah.
Big time.
And the
Yeah.
thing is that people get carried
Sure.
away, so that means that they can get carried away on this too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just as possible for this to become a cool thing, you know, like we are the cool people, we don't loot, and then you can show the world that, you know. And I think that's also something which I think is really interesting here, that there was a lot of images going out in the world about the looting and about the bad stuff going on.
yeah,
But
yeah.
now we have an opportunity to show the world how are we coming together? What are we doing now? How are we building up? How are we getting together in this campaign or in all the other preparedness stuff? How can St. Martin lead the way on that? And that's absolutely possible. St. Martin can be the positive example to the world to see how do you come back strong after you've
Yeah.
been through everything, including the looting and everything. There's a huge opportunity here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
But-
have, sorry.
No, go ahead.
We also have, we're right now working with the Ministry of Youth Culture, Youth and Education.
Education, yeah.
And we know for the next school year, we're busy speaking with the schools about an auction, art auction, a Too Cool to Loot art auction. They did it last year, was the first time I think, and now they're doing it again. Last year was for Irma, Hurricane Irma, and now they're joining with us to do the Too Cool to Loot campaign, and also debates. They're gonna do the debate to loot or not to loot.
Right,
So
that's awesome.
we also
Yeah.
hear, you know, pros and cons about
That's a
why
fiery,
you should loot or why you
fiery
shouldn't.
debate
It
right
is,
there.
exactly.
Wow.
But we're getting the children to think and to do research,
that's
and,
good.
and everybody will be, you know, educated about why it's not good to loot. And if you prepare them, the next time they'll think twice before going out there. And we can do our part rather than having the emergency team come in and assess us. We can do our part.
You know, I see also St. Martin, after 6 months now, 7 months, after the hurricane, I believe that we came back really fast, you know, certain parts of the island, you know, but I still would want to know of Puerto Rico and Dominica, if you've seen, you've been to Puerto Rico after or no? Because
No,
within
no.
UNICEF, nobody, or maybe you
Oh
have
yeah,
contact?
UNICEF has been there.
Yeah?
Yeah, I haven't seen the reports because I've kind of been a bit like very tunnel vision looking
Yeah,
at St. Martin,
yeah.
how are we going to do this on St. Martin?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, UNICEF has been
Oh,
there
okay,
and done.
because this year a lot of islands was hit with hurricanes,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
So Dominica also, and I have a friend that was in Dominica recently, and she told me that St. Martin is way more forward and advanced than them after.
I
the
think
hurricane.
what I've seen, I also looked a bit at Dominica and they are
Yeah.
doing similar preparedness for the school sector and everything. And St. Martin really bounced back quicker than what I've seen before. The schools were open after only 1 month. That's pretty amazing. And
Yeah.
I really have to say to everybody that was involved in that was a pretty good job that was
Yeah.
done there. And I'm also seeing now, when I landed, I came in mid-February here, and I was expecting it to be much worse already
Yeah.
then. And only the few months, the 3 months that I've been here, I've even seen massive changes going on. So you may think that things are slow here,
Yeah,
but then again, you also have to think about the massive job needed,
Yeah.
you know?
yeah.
And when you look at the whole picture, there's really been a lot of good work
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
Even
yeah.
though some of you may see that there's still a lot that needs to
be
happen.
good, yeah.
I mean,
No, I
There's
truly
movement,
believe you
there's
because
movement.
I went to Curacao, come back twice. After the hurricane, I went there with my family, and I came back, and the place was just down. You know, I came in December. No, yeah, a little bit after the hurricine, I come back. So when we was landing, there was like people in the plane really just crying, you know, because before when you come to St. Martin, you see Maho and all the nice beaches, right?
Yeah.
But when you come back, everything was like, you know, third world country.
Sure,
You know what I'm saying? So then after I went again, I come back,
And when you come in and you see the beaches starting to bright up, and you see the construction by Maho, so like people feel good again, you know,
A sense of relief.
yeah, a sense of relief that St. Martin is truly coming back.
Yeah.
But I still also ask myself, you know, after 20 years Hurricane Louis, after 20 years Irma, how St. Martin keep coming back? You know, there's some sort of resilience. B, you can give me
we
something
have
like
no
that.
choice, bro.
Yeah.
You have nowhere
Yeah.
to go. Whatever happens, you have to rebuild.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, you have to rebuild.
No, but there's something with the people then, bro, because they have countries that can't come back still.
You know.
We're
You know?
fighters.
Yeah,
We're fighters
you know,
here on the island.
so
I mean, really, yeah, but what I'm seeing also that this is such a resourceful place in its own
Yes.
way. I mean, I've had such a wonderful time working with all these amazing people that have so much spirit to keep moving.
Nice.
And I think that's one of the strength that St. Martin really has to build on. You have fantastic people with enormous strength. And
Yeah.
really you
what
bounce
I'm
back,
saying.
it's true what you're saying,
Yeah.
you know, that you bounce back faster
So
than
fast,
we see
yeah.
other places.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You came back how long after Hurricane?
No, I didn't come until February, you know.
Oh yeah, you came back February. Okay.
No, I was way after. You'd already cleaned up half of it, I think, by then.
Oh, okay. So Brian,
Yeah, we work hard.
you work out.
Hard
Yeah,
workers.
We're almost there. So I don't know if the ladies have one last more word.
Sure. Last words?
You guys want to put your phone number or something also?
Yeah, so the campaign, which is this is our next initiative, the campaign, the logo contest, it runs from May 14th, this Monday, until June 4th. Judging will be done on the 5th, the next day, and the winner will be announced on the 8th. Key things to pay attention to: if you want to participate, you have to be between the ages of 2 to 18. You must have the Too Cool to Loot logo, cool in capital letters. And
Just look out for adverts in the newspapers.
Yes,
Go
yes.
check on our webpage. We will put the criteria on Too Cool to Loot on Facebook.
yeah,
Just search it up and like us and
Yes.
share us and everything.
and drop it off.
And
at
then
the-
there'll be some flyers around
Yes.
that in the schools and around. So just be on the lookout for those little flyers and that information about the criteria for
Will be
what
on
has
it.
to be part of that logo.
And you guys gonna keep coming with more campaigns, or it's gonna keep it's ongoing, or more? Are we gonna stay with this campaign and just come with different activities? Or?
Yes, this campaign will roll in, well, there'll be t-shirts and stuff, there'll be
Nice.
activities in the communities. Hopefully we can also engage some youth during the summer break to do projects in the community that will also increase the ownership in the community, you know, which will prevent more looting also. And then we hope that maybe we'll get some musicians on board and we'll get some art stuff coming up.
Yes,
And then for
yes.
next school year, as we were talking about, there's the art
Auction.
auction and there's the debate. So this will roll for a while.
Okay, hopefully you guys can stay within through the hurricane season. If anything, we got a hurricane, people still can stay up to date, not to loot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? B?
Hopefully we don't get a hurricane.
Yeah,
not
yeah,
this
that's
year.
it. Yeah, no, we can't. Not even the category 1.
No,
we
no,
can't
no.
take it. No.
Just little low pressures.
Yeah.
Dwindling around the island.
Yeah.
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 So Brian, Mother's Day, I'd still would like to give a shout out to the mothers out there again. You know, Tasana, right?
Yes.
Your mother, right?
Yes, I am. I have 2 kids. My daughter, she's 12, turns
Okay.
13 on Monday,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a 4-month-old.
4 months so recently.
Yes.
Okay. How does it feel as a mother?
Great.
Yeah.
It's a full-time job,
Yeah.
but it's an amazing job.
I seen a few comments on Facebook. You know, I don't know how it feels. I'm not a father, you know, but like some mothers saying, at a certain point you can become, how do you say? You can feel like not desperate, like you feel lonely sometimes, or feel like you're doing too much work. I don't know, I don't know how to say it.
Unappreciative?
Yeah, overwhelmed. Yeah, that's
Oh, yes, you do feel overwhelmed because
But why?
you're
Why
caring
though?
for you're caring for other humans. In my case, I'm caring for 2 other humans.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to make the best of it. I'm trying to make sure that they are good all the time and still be an example to them.
Mhm.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot, and then you work full time, and and then your mom, you have to pay attention to everything that's going on in their life. In my case, my 4-month-old, she's a newborn. So I'm up at night with her when she's sick. Like currently she has a cold, so I was up last night with her. And it's an ongoing job.
You're a single
Always-
mother or?
No,
No,
no.
okay, that's great, that's great. Because there are a lot of single mothers now,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I know they're struggling, some mothers, single mothers are struggling. The question is, why so much single mothers? Why do we keep having all these single mothers out here?
That's a big question to Sam.
Hey, Brian, you can answer that.
I mean, to each his own. Everybody have a perspective. Sometimes it doesn't work out with the person,
Yeah.
and sometimes, you never know. It's a lot of different scenarios, a lot of different
Yeah.
cases. But overall, they are mothers, and
Yeah,
they still have to care for that child. So they still have to get the strength, even though they don't have the partner with them, to move on and be the best example
Yeah.
for their children. So, yeah.
no, it's becoming more and more, you know, sometimes you sit down and see, it keep becoming more and more, and you see mothers struggling alone with their kids, you know. I have my fiance, I have 2 boys, you know, I try my utmost best so the relations can keep going good, you know what I'm saying?
That's good.
So,
You leave, you have an example.
yeah, so I try my best. So I know it's not easy. But
Exactly, and I do believe it takes a community to help you raise children. Like I'm grateful for my family. My mom, she's still around,
yeah,
and I'm grateful for her. She's
Yeah.
my rock. She helps me out with everything.
that's great.
And
That's
you
great.
need that. You need somebody who is there to also help you.
Yeah. Well, I keep motivating all the single mothers out there and the family.
Super
You know?
women out there.
Yeah, super
moms.
women. You call them super moms,
Yeah.
you know. But I'm gonna have lunch just now, Brian.
Mhm.
You, what about you, man? What are you gonna do today with your wife?
I'm gonna take out for lunch as well.
Yeah?
Yeah. This is a day, sadly to say, it should have been a holiday.
That's right.
Yeah, because
I agree.
Mother's Day has been around. I think I did some research since 1908.
Wow.
1908.
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day, yeah, it started in the U.S. I believe a lady by the name of Anna Jarvis, right? And
She said the date or what?
yeah, she did it commemorating her mom that passed away. Her mother was a pacifist, working with the veterans or something
Wow.
like that. And she wanted to have that day in remembrance of her mother and pass it on with the veterans. But the sad part is, with her as well, she criticized that it became too commercialized.
Mother's Day.
Yeah, it became too commercialized. In 1920, I believe, then when Hallmark started making a bunch of Mother's Day cards.
Yeah.
And it's all about money right now. Touching story, just today before my son and his mom, they left to go to church. You know, I mean, he might cry when he hear me saying this, but he would wake me up this morning, he put a $10, he said, buy something for mommy for me.
Wow.
He gave what he had. That's
Yeah,
what Mother's Day is about,
That's right.
appreciating
Yes,
your mother.
Exactly.
Appreciating your
He's
mother.
still allowing to say why.
That's what
Yeah,
you should do.
yeah,
It shouldn't
you
be
should,
about
yeah.
the expensive stuff, you know. It should be about that thought, the appreciation, not just saying I love you, but
Yeah.
showing it. You know, so today I would like to say, to all the mothers out there, have a wonderful day. And to all the people that are estranged with their mother, you know, today could be a day to turn that around. You know, a mother is the only person, remember this, is the only person that spent 9 months with you and didn't know you.
Yeah.
You understand? Took care of you for 9 months without even meeting you.
Meeting you, yeah.
You know, so it's a
So while
special,
she eat, while she drink, everything goes down to
special woman. So whatever disconnection you have with your mom today, change that.
you. Change that, yeah.
You know, and if she's still around as well, don't wait until she's gone to give her flowers.
Keep it going too,
Change
you know. Don't only change it today,
Yeah.
but keep it going, you know.
Yeah.
Mother's Day is every day to me, you know. So I treat my wife and my mother good every day,
Yeah.
you know. And on the day you
But,
treat
but,
that
but,
extra
quick, but
special,
quickly
right, bro?
before we go, bro, I saw someone send something on Facebook, and they said today is not Wives' Day, it's Mother's Day. Meaning the wives, they want all the attention all the time.
Yeah.
Me and you, we supposed to be spending time with our mother.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's supposed to spend time with her mother
Yeah, indeed.
and her kids.
Yeah.
But why the men again? we
Well,
gotta
well,
take
the
it-
wives is the mother too,
the mother,
you know
but
what
she
I'm
your
saying?
mother.
Yeah.
That's how they laugh for them
Yeah,
over
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Closing
But-
words
Yeah,
quickly.
but Sir Martin, thank you so much. Today was a wonderful program. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you
Appreciate
for having
having you
us.
guys
Thank you.
Awesome.
here. SOS, thank you. Next week again, me and Brian Barry are going to be here.
Absolutely.
On the dot again.
Absolutely.
Sir Martin, thank you.
St. Martin, remember, life is all about choices, so be careful what you choose and who you choose because time waits on no one. Strictly business.